WTF! WTF!
Hello, I'm Ross from Cultaholic.com and welcome to the last ever WTF Moments episode in the history of the world, because tomorrow at 1 PM Greenwich Mean Time, I have to sit there and watch 10 hours of Woken Matt Hardy, and if I'm not broken myself, it's a bloody miracle. So this is the last video ever. It's been canny. And we kick things off with a sign that reads, "Next Diva Champ, somebody needs to inform that little brat that she is being a more regressive person than Vince Russo could ever dream of being." What do you mean, next Diva Champ? That's not even a thing anymore. We killed that butterfly. It's never coming back. Point 2, sign 2, lovely, lovely, lovely. However, man needs his sexual wank pheasants to keep spreading the word like this loyal sexual wank pheasant is, so more people, ... dramatic pause, join us. Keep doing the signs, please. And next up we have Byron Saxon, who asked whether Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon had spoken since Sunday's Clash of Champions, as if that would have resolved anything. As we saw on Sunday Clash of Champions, private meetings between Shane and Bryan just ended more confusion than there was at the start. They needed a strategy for refereeing that match, so they had one of those private meetings. They came out for that tag team match and they didn't know whether to scratch their arse or wind their watches. What were they doing in that private meeting? I'll tell you, they were kissing. Shane McMahon is an arsehole. 2 days on from that tag team match at Clash of Champions, Shane McMahon still doesn't know why Daniel Bryan broke up the 3 count that was presumably going to happen before Bryan fell on his arse. Shane, rather conveniently, since he hasn't taken it upon himself to watch the footage back, still thinks Daniel Bryan tripped, when, as we all know, little Daniel Bryan was pushed by big Kevin Owens straight onto Shane McMahon. It's very convenient, isn't it, Shane? Just watch the footage back. Take your head out of your arsehole and just watch the footage back, and you won't make mistakes like that, which paint you to be an absolute numpty. And it was at this moment here that Shane McMahon realised that SmackDown Live have inadvertently been telling the completely opposite story to what they intended with Kevin Owens and Samuel James Zayn. Instead of telling us a story of 2 rapscallions that deserve the comeuppance that comes their way, SmackDown Live have told a tale of a delusional, power-hungry dad soothing his own egos while painting the 2 supposed heels of the piece as sympathetic babyfaces dealing with this absolute arsehole. They wanted to tell us the story of Home Alone, but they ended up telling us a different film. And next up we have Shane McMahon being a hypocrite once again when he has a go at Daniel Bryan for the fast count at the end of the tag team match at Clash of Champions. As we all saw at Clash of Champions, Shane McMahon let his own bias get in the way of him counting a 3 count when Samuel Zayn had Randy Orton pinned to the mat. Was it Samuel Zayn and Randy Orton? I've got to watch 10 hours of Broken Matt Hardy tomorrow, so I don't care. But Shane McMahon having a go at Daniel Bryan for something that essentially he did himself. Shane McMahon, get in the bin. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are married. Confirmed. We hear about it all the time. One of the biggest insults a husband can tell his wife is the fact that she is turning into a mother, because as we all know, husbands do not get on with their mother-in-laws, like Daniel Bryan does not get on with medical professionals. So when Bryan told Shane that he was slowly turning into his dad, Vince McMahon, Shane relented from being an arsehole, cracked his jaws and just let Daniel Bryan get on with the job, which he should have been doing all the while along. I was right about them kissing after all. Forget about the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match being about women's wrestling and the progression we've seen over the past 3 years especially. It's still all about Mrs. Lady Bars herself, Stephanie McMahon. The headline should be talking about what a massive step forward this is for women's wrestling, how women are finally getting the matches they should have had all along, but no, it's talking about Stephanie McMahon's creation, the Women's Royal Rumble. Stephanie McMahon is the god of women's wrestling now. Apparently she created this Royal Rumble. Isn't she great? No, she is not. She has done more damage to women's wrestling than most have in recent times, and I include in that Liv Morgan air punching her own partner on Sunday. Go and look at Becky Lynch's Twitter. I just wish the McMahons in general would take their shoes and socks off and jump into a very deep hole, never to be seen again. They're unbearable on WWE television these days. It's all about them, and we don't want them, we want somebody else. It's gimmick infringement on gimmick infringement. It's gimmick infringementception. Last couple of years has seen Sasha Banks infringe on Cal Newport's Be So Good They Can't Ignore You gimmick, and now Lita has infringed on Sasha's stolen gimmick. How does it end? If we know Charlotte, we know that nothing makes her happier than carrying the Women's Championship on her shoulder. Shoulder? I don't think we do know you then, Charlotte, because that is definitely round your midriff, but it might explain why every single WWE superstar watches television like one of their ears is considerably more heavy than their other. It's because their shoulder's down here while their stomach's up there, so they're always going to be like that. And next up we have Charlotte saying there's nothing that the women in WWE can't do. Penis modelling. And next up we have Naomi in the moment she called all 3 members of the Riot Squad chicken heads. Now I only know the word chicken heads from Fat Man Scoop when he tells all the chicken heads to be quiet, so I looked up what it actually means, and here's what I found. The first 3 definitions I saw with my own eyes is a woman who likes willies, a woman who likes to suck willies while bobbing her head up and down like a chicken, and the third definition was a dance move. But the first 2, Naomi, you definitely can't be saying that on SmackDown Live. Kicking things off for Corey Graves this week, and we have the moment where he said that the Riot Squad are exactly the same thing as Absolution. Out in SmackDown Live's creative team as just massive copycats. Absolutely fantastic work, Corey, even though it's absolutely unavoidable due to how blatant the copying is. I bet SmackDown's creative team loved you for outing them like that, live on the air in front of hundreds. This is SmackDown Live after all. Made a grave mistake, Corey. And this time we have Corey, who said that every woman involved in that lumberjack match on Sunday would have caught some hands, which of course means being punched in the face. As I said before, just go and look at Becky Lynch's Twitter, see Liv Morgan air punching her own partner, then come back and say that, Corey, because I can guarantee you, you won't. And next up we have Dolph Ziggler, who claimed that anybody who said his United States Championship victory on Sunday came out of absolutely nowhere hasn't been watching WWE for the last 12 years. I said it came out absolutely nowhere, and I've been watching WWE for the past 2 years where you haven't been winning matches at all, and more than that, you've missed more dates than Alberto El Patron during that time, ba-boom! And that's not because you've been skipping them like Bertie does, it's because WWE just haven't wanted to book you. Sassy bitch. Dolph Ziggler proving he's just as big of a hypocrite as Shane McMahon is. When he opened his promo, he claimed he's one of the hardest working men in the ring, and the fact he's never backed down from a challenge, but he ended his promo by dumping his United States Championship on the floor, and in turn backing down from every single challenge that will be coming his way in the future. Is puberty just kicking in for Dolph Ziggler or something? His hormones are all over the place. Immediately after Dolph Ziggler apparently quit, just right in front of us, we cut back to Daniel Bryan, who was on the phone. Daniel Bryan does not give a crap that his secondary champion just walked out. Maybe the rumours that Daniel Bryan actually doesn't care about his job are worming their way onto television. Who would have thought it? Life imitating art. And next up we have Byron Saxton asking which reindeer Xavier Woods would be. I've got the answer. It's easy. After what we've seen on the internet this year, he would clearly be Blartzen. Let me make that more lifelike. Byron Saxton yet again claimed that everybody knows that Santa doesn't wear cut-off sleeves. That there, Byron Saxton, everybody knows that you are an ignorant arsehole. That's not the first time Xavier Woods has left a white sticky mess on somebody's face. Oh, I'm disappointed in myself. And next up we have Xavier Woods dribbling chewed up pancakes out of his mouth and onto the face of Aiden English, which is all kinds of wrong. Mother birds do that to their babies, but humans don't do that to other humans. Just play the whole clip over. Styles K.A.J. Moura. And the last ever WTF moment in the history of my sane being is the fact that there was absolutely no reference to either Mojo Rawley or Zack Ryder. Adam Pacitti sat out there, has backed a really crap horse. See you on the stream tomorrow, everybody. Haha. No. Follow me on the Twitter machine at Ross on Wrestling. Pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you can afford to give us will be greatly appreciated and reinvested to make more lovely content than we already are. But most importantly, do not forget to join us.